When Charlene Ogbeni tells the story of her life, words pour forth like coffee beans from a torn burlap bag. She brims with the confidence of someone who is successful and with the excitement of her drive to achieve more. For someone as outgoing as Mrs. Ogbeni, it is hard to believe she once considered herself shy and insecure. But much has changed for Mrs. Ogbeni, 28, since she was featured in an article about the New York Times Neediest Cases Fund in February 2008. Among the highlights for her in the last 9 years are earning bachelor's and master's degrees, jobs as a retail sales associate and manager, and as an advocate and mentor to high school students, 2 internships at HBO, marrying in February 2017, and gaining a new surname, and landing a job as a counselor to middle school students. Mrs. Ogbeni is also planning to move into her own house from the public housing where she has lived for more than 25 years. She said she was so self-conscious in high school that even if she knew the answer to a question in class, she would let another student respond. In her freshman year, she found inspiration through Hope Leadership Academy in East Harlem. The academy, which offered tutoring, leadership training and mentoring, is run by Children's Aid, one of the 8 organizations supported by the Neediest Cases Fund. Leading up to her high school prom in 2007, Mrs. Ogbeni, née Mitchell, said she lacked the confidence to believe she would look good in a dress and told friends she would not attend. Kenya Thomas, who was a youth development coordinator at the academy, sensed her unease, took her aside and said, "Everyone should have the experience of going to prom." Ms. Thomas drew $600 from the Neediest Cases Fund to pay for graduation fees for Mrs. Ogbeni and her sister, and to buy Mrs. Ogbeni a blue dress and accessories for the prom: rhinestone earrings, a necklace, a tiara, and sparkling shoes. In a recent interview, Mrs. Ogbeni said she went to the prom and was the belle of the ball. Nearly 10 years after Mrs. Ogbeni had told The Times about her struggles in high school, she was reading The Times on her phone and saw information about the start of the 106th annual campaign for the Neediest Cases, which led her to its GoFundMe page. She donated $100 in October and wrote, "I am so happy to know the New York Times continues to educate and touch lives near and far. I will be forever grateful for your generosity." In the interview, she added, "The Neediest Cases Fund was a great opportunity but also a good opportunity to give back. It was just like, you always want to do whatever you can whenever you can. I want to assist, so I just went for it." Mrs. Ogbeni said Ms. Thomas's passion for her job inspired her to want to become a school counselor. She works at Mott Hall Bridges Academy, in the Brownsville neighborhood of Brooklyn, where she offers social and emotional support for students in grades 6 through 8. She talks to them about goals, advises them as they begin to push boundaries, and works directly with their families. Administrators at the start of this school year introduced a monthly award to recognize an outstanding staff member. Nadia Lopez, the principal at the academy, said in a recent interview.